Choose your joystick wisely. For my opinion on joysticks.
I wanted to talk about joystick options today, but mostly because I'm really disappointed with these new ball top joysticks that came out. Usually I would recommend either a Suzo Hap or a Industrious Lorenzo style joystick, like these ones you see here. And these are pretty smooth operators. That's what they look like on the inside. Now there's a Chinese branded joystick. Actually, I think Suzo does come from China, and I'm not sure about Industrious Lorenzo. But there's this other type of joystick called a Zippy that you'll see on the internet a lot, and they have ball tops. But sometimes they end up not working properly, and I'll get into that a little bit later. So I thought I would try out this new product. It's from Twisted Quarter. I order from Twisted Quarter all the time, and they have a lot of good products. But I have nothing good to say about these joysticks. This dishwasher doesn't really fit right, so that's kind of not a big deal though. You can't really see, but inside there's a snap ring on the top. It's really clunky. It's not engaging on the left there. There it is, the left just engaged. These just don't seem like good quality. You hear that big clunk? And it won't happen every time either. And on the inside, they look similar to a Suzo Hap or an Industrious Lorenzo joystick, but they got this weird looking washer on there. And I don't quite know how to fix that. Now, a lot of that clunking that you hear is on the inside there. It's not showing up on camera. There's a snap ring. I don't feel like taking these things apart because I'm never going to buy another one again. See, now the left seems to be working okay. Maybe they're going to wear in, I don't know. Well, we'll see what happens. Now compare that to this. So when it comes to Suzo Hap, apparently they're the same design as the Industrious Lorenzo, but people seem to say the Industrious Lorenzo has a different actuator on the back than the Suzo's. And quite honestly, since they're the same design, I can't tell the difference. But all I know is they work really well. So now I'm going to go and I'll show you what the Zippy ones look like. So just keep in mind that these ones, they look very similar to the Suzo. Also, the bolt pattern on these, they weren't super accurate. One of them was just slightly off, and I had to drill them out so that they would fit into my control panel. And as you guys know, I like to mount the holes with brass inserts into the control panel. So here's my Ninja Turtle machine with the Zippy style joysticks. And you can see if you look really close, it's got this dust washer that says Zippy. These things come from China. Sometimes these little actuators are not actuators, these are restrictor plates, so you can turn it into a four-way or a two-way joystick. Sometimes they don't allow you to get proper movement. If you're playing fighting games, it'd be really hard to do. I don't know how to explain it. Some of the moves where you're going like forward, down, left, you know, in a motion, it'll have trouble doing that sometimes. And you have to take off these restrictor plates. So, I mean, as you can see, I have this in my machine because the original equipment did have balls on them, and so that's kind of why I like to go with those. I figured since I'm on the topic of different styles of joysticks, I might as well talk about a couple other brands. I don't use these ones because the shaft isn't long enough, but there's two other types of joysticks, and this is a Sanwa. It's a pretty good quality. The ball tops come in multiple colors, so they would be a good option to use on these control panels, with the exception that they don't stick out of the top enough. So you would need to get some kind of different shaft on those ones. And similarly, here's a Famitsu joystick. You can see it has a weird mounting plate that's at an angle. But the quality on these are pretty good. And I think this is what the Zippy was made after. Now, one other thing that came along is this joystick that somebody modified Suzo Hap and it has this pipe on the end of it, and this would fit in like so. Now, of course, you probably won't see these very much. I think it's a good idea. I'd really like it if somebody took this stock Suzo shaft and put a shoulder on it so you wouldn't need to use this pipe. It had a better quality on the ball top, because you can see that one's not so good. So as a quick recap, if you're using a 4-player beat 'em up, then you can put pretty much whatever you want in there, except for those ones that I was showing you earlier. I really don't recommend those. And if you want a 6 setup, I would recommend that you use a Industrious Lorenzo or a Suzo hat. So I hope that helps out in your choosing of joysticks. Thanks for watching.